Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This reading will be for Normani. So we're going to look into her energetic storyline and see what's happening with her. So the first I want to see is her current energies. So let's look into her current energies. So it seems like she's being tormented. You know, she has a lot of sort of like regrets. She's definitely thinking a lot. She's almost being trapped by sort of just like her own thoughts and others' perceptions regarding her. And it's leaving her confused. So let's go a little bit deeper and see what else that's about. Okay. You know, the energies are asking her to kind of like focus on herself, to not focus on what others are doing, sort of like to meditate and focus on the next coming cycles in her life. But let's see if she will. This is showing that she's not necessarily sort of like listening to her intuition. Instead, she's still trying to like soldier on and kind of like create some sort of like movement for herself. So let's see what will happen if she do that. Yeah, it won't be good if she does that, because what's happening is like this is a time for her to collect herself, but she keeps trying to move forward. And what's happening is that she's causing a lot of like pain, heartache, sorrow. Again, this is all sort of like energies in her mind because she's not like aligned right. You know, she's gonna have sort of like an illumination where she realizes that she's gonna need to calm down. But I don't know if it's necessarily gonna happen in a time that'll benefit her, because what I'm getting is just like, if she takes the time to sort of like meditate and rest now, then it will kind of like make things move along a little bit quicker. But since she keeps forcing the matter, whatever the matter is, it's causing things to be kind of like backed up. So let's see, what is the matter? What is she forcing? She wants things to be stable, is what's going on. She wants sort of like structure. She wants balance. But again, that's not going to happen because she's still trying to force movement. So let's look at what some of the conclusions are. So she's definitely like, she's kind of like a little bit traumatized is what I'm getting from this. She's sad. She's definitely traumatized. She can't stop thinking about sort of like projects that hasn't gone to her liking or to her standard. And she's definitely like agitated and traumatized by the whole matter, and she can't stop thinking about it. And not only is it sort of like a mental thing with her, it's also an emotional energy, you know. But yeah, that's why she needs to meditate, because she's in sort of like this energy. So that's her current energy. So that's pretty interesting. So let's look at her views on being sabotaged. So let's look and see what's going on there. This is pretty interesting. She feels like she's being blocked out from movement. Sort of like she can see where she wants to head to, you know, as far as like what she wants out of life. But she feels like she's kind of trapped. you know? So let's see. Why is she trapped? What's making her trapped? Well, it seems like she's not necessarily sharing herself. You know, it's kind of like we know of her, but we don't necessarily know her. So because of that, it's causing postponement as far as like her celebrity goes. So let's continue to look into that because that's really interesting. Yeah, it's kind of just like people wouldn't expect this, but it's kind of like coming naturally. Not this part people wouldn't expect, but like what I'm gonna say next. Like obviously she's a great dancer. Her singing is, you know, it's what it is. But she kind of feels like she could just rely on her dancing and kind of like trying to create a vibe. But as far as like trying to relate to the people and all of that, she doesn't feel like she has to do that. She doesn't want to. And because of that, it's kind of causing a sabotage, sort of like energy for herself. So that's really interesting. So let's look a little bit deeper into that and see what's going on. I wasn't expecting that. So that's pretty cool. Also, please like, subscribe, comment, and tell me what you think. I'd appreciate it, and it would help the channel a lot. Yeah, so it seems like she has some underlying emotions, you know, that she's not sharing. You know, there's a reason why she doesn't want to be kind of like out in the open. So let's look into that. Because it seems like she's lazy, but she also has some sort of like trauma that's being concealed. Also, if the cards doesn't flip out, I'll just choose from the deck. Okay, cool. Oh, two. So it seems like sort of like friendships in the past wasn't balanced. And so since these sort of like friendships and sort of like relationships, because it's not just friendships, it's also relationships, they didn't necessarily go in a way that she would be happy about, or didn't go in a way that she's happy about. So because of that, she's kind of like, what this card is about is, I can't pronounce that, but it's about like exaggerating things. So it's kind of like, sort of like the pains and the traumas she felt or she'd been through, you know, because it was real for her, it's a little bit exaggerated. So since she's sort of like been through some like pain basically regarding relationships, you know, she kind of just wants things to be private. Because what I'm getting is like, she doesn't want to put herself out there just in case like things don't go as planned. You know, she doesn't want to be exposed. You know, and not because she's hiding something, even though I said like she was hiding something earlier, but it's just like she doesn't want to be exposed emotionally. So that's really interesting. So let's look into her thoughts on her song and music video, Wild Side. Let's see what's going on with that. Again, if cards don't pop out, I'll just choose from deck, but cool. She's kind of feeling like, is this karma? Sort of like, is this the Most High that's causing this? Is it because she's not like close to the Most High, you know, the Creator, whatever she believes spiritually? But she feels like, is this happening because she's not as close to the divine? So let's look into that. Yeah, she feels like she committed a lot of energy and like even money too, but she felt like she made a serious commitment with the Wild Side, with that project. You know, she put in prayer, but it didn't go the way she wanted it to go. So let's look deeper, you know. Interesting. Yeah, she's questioning her sort of like ability to create, you know. She feel like, is she as creative as she thought she was, or you know, she's a bit insecure with her ability to create because she feels like it's not resonating. You know, it's kind of like hitting her heart because she does see herself as an artist, and the fact that it's not sort of like happening the way she wants it to happen, she's sort of like taking it very hard. But let's look. Is there something sabotaging her, though? Or rather, her take on the wild side. Let's look into that. Sorry about that, I got confused for a second. Yeah, again, she feels like sort of things aren't just happening for her easily. Like, she feels like she's putting in a lot of effort, but she's not getting a return in what she's basically investing into. So that's her thoughts on the wild side. So that's interesting. Let's see her perspective with her fans. What is her perspective regarding her fans? Well, she feels the love for sure. She understands that, like, the people that do support her really think like she's like an amazing person, an amazing like star, basically. You know, so she definitely feels the love in that regard. But she feels like they're not sort of like predictable like other celebrity fans would be. So kind of like she feels like, yeah, they support her, but they're just very random. So it's kind of just like, yeah, she feels like they're rebels, basically. You know, she also feels like she hasn't like mastered sort of like being a star and having fans. Like, she feels like she hasn't become like a Lady Gaga or like who else? Like yeah, I don't really follow celebrities like that, but she hasn't become like a Rihanna where she has like a cult following. Because if you know anything about this dude, he had like a cult following. So she feels like she's not like a Rihanna or a Beyonce. Like, she doesn't have a cult following. So like, even though she feels the love, she feels like they're unpredictable. So that's really interesting. So let's see, where does she plan on taking her career, you know? Ooh, interesting. Okay, so this is obviously her emotion, but let's see what's happening. So she's kind of like, she wants to give up, but she sees the opportunity. She definitely sees the opportunity, you know. She understands that this might not just be the season for her, you know. The fact that the sun's there, she sees hope, you know. She sees the possibilities, because obviously, like, people know who she is and all that. So she definitely, she sees a lot of challenges as well, though. You know, is what I'm getting from this, like with the whole mountain background and all. So it's kind of like, yeah, she sees hope, but she feels like basically this is going to be a huge challenge for her for whatever reason. As far as her emotions go, yeah, she feels like it's a lot of conflict, you know. She feels like not only is she fighting herself, but she's sort of like fighting the unknown, like almost like fighting her luck as well, like, because it's kind of like, okay, luck isn't here for me, and it's just like, am I here for myself? Like, am I doing right? So she's definitely in conflict regarding that. But let's see though, where does she plan on taking her career? Because it seems like she doesn't exactly know. But let me pull another card and see. Yeah, she doesn't know. She has fear, she has anxiety. So as far as like the energies isn't sort of like there for me to even see like what's going to happen with her career, because it's kind of just like tomorrow she could just quit. She could retire or go into a new line of work. So it's kind of just like, yeah, she doesn't know what she wants to do as far as her career. So that's interesting. Let's look into her fears. What are her fears? So her fears is not being balanced. You know, she wants sort of like balance as far as like her mental energies, because she's going through a lot of turmoil with that. Sorry for the light going kind of like in and out. I guess it's not the light, it's the camera, because I guess the colors are vibrant. I don't know. But basically she feels like she wants balance, you know. So her fears, it's not finding balance, not finding happiness, not being content. You know, she's kind of afraid, will she feel what she's feeling now, basically kind of like forever. I know that's like an exaggeration, but she kind of feels like damn, am I going to feel all this anxiety and kind of like pain and heartbreak and kind of just like not knowing, not having any like firm foundation? Am I going to feel that sort of like indefinitely? But let's look and see, will she get any relief regarding her fears, you know? This is kind of like a interesting energy, because it's kind of just like, again, a lot of the issues is kind of just not having that connection with the fans. And it's not that she's hiding, but she doesn't know how to play sort of like the part that she's in. So this is showing like when she learns how to play that part of like being a celeb and knowing how much to put out, and you know, that whole game, then she'll find some relief. But until she comes into that energy, yeah, she's gonna be kind of like where she's at now. So let's see, for the last question I have, what does the universe have planned for her that's a surprise? I don't know. Yeah, that's interesting. So what the universe wants from her, and remember again, the universe is the most high spirit source, the creator, God, whatever higher power you call it. The spirit, the most high spirit, wants her to kind of like understand herself, to look within. You know, she's kind of like in the season of where like things aren't going her way and things are kind of jacked up. So it's kind of just like Spirit definitely wants her to sort of like reflect. You know, this is a card of introspection. So this is kind of just like she needs to look in her soul, you know. It's a lot of stuff that's kind of hidden with her. So this is interesting. This can be a very deep reading, but I'm not going to make it a deep reading. But basically, once she look inwardly, because she has issues, she definitely has some sort of like problem or something. Like we all do, obviously. But this is like, you know, one that's affecting her, you know. Like we all have, I'm assuming, some sort of like issue or something, you know. So this is kind of just like that sort of like vibe, that she needs to confront whatever issue it is that she's dealing with. And the surprise is that because she will confront sort of those issues, so the surprise is that she will have victory. So it's kind of just like a lot of people are kind of just like, you know, like what's up with her music? Is she being sabotaged? Like what's going on with it? And all these different questions and all. But she's going to have victory. So, you know. So I don't know like if she's going to stay in music or whatever, but she's definitely going to have victory. So what this is showing me is that whatever is not working or whatever is kind of like hard for her at the moment, it's not going to be that way. And this card popped out as well. So this is the energy of kind of just like transmuting. So it's kind of like taking her energies and sort of just like the energies that were difficult and kind of like all that like sadness and pressure and turning it into a diamond. You know what I mean? So like turning it into something that's valuable. So it's kind of like what this is about is this. Once she kind of like looks within, understand her problems, start working on it, you know, do that sort of like work, then she'll transmute and she'll have a victory. So that was what was shown to me. So that was really cool. Please like, please subscribe, all that good stuff, and even comment, tell me what you think, you know. But yeah, thank you a lot.